Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today we are talking about the IRW Khazara from the Romulan Empire. It's a 3 attack dice ship, so a little limited there, but the main advantage it has is 3 crew slots, so it is the perfect home for Captain Terrace from the Hakona expansion that lets you fire with your primary weapon 360 degrees. Yeah, it was a ship that wasn't very useful until more recently, but if you combine it with firing while cloaked, its name ability, 4 dice 360 is a pretty nice ability and gives you something to do with those very useless crew that we'll get to in a moment. Generic, of course, you lose the shield, a crew slot, save 2 points. Not a huge deal since you're going to be cloaked most of the time. Moving on, we get 1 captain in this pack, that is Captain Toreth. She's a skill 7, gives us a talent. When attacking, you can turn one of your hits into a critical hit. I really like this captain. I think that Toreth is a very underrated captain. I think that being able to inflict critical damage to your opponent is a very useful ability, and skill 7 is high enough that it's going to matter. You might get a crit that will affect their attack back at you, and since it's a when attacking, you can do it multiple times per turn. Toreth, very good captain. We do get several upgrades in this pack. First off, we have the elite talent counterattack. As an action, if your ship's shields or hull are damaged by a ship in your forward firing arc this round, you can immediately make a free attack against that ship. So this right now is where Toreth comes back into play, being able to use her ability multiple times per round. I really like counterattack. I think it's good to be able to get that extra attack. Works well against a bunch of different ships. Sometimes it's more of a deterrent, prevents people from shooting at you, but that's all the better because it keeps you alive longer. Moving on to crew, we have Bokra. He's another ganker. He is an action if you're not cloaked. You disable your remaining shields, target a ship at range 1 to 2, discard Bokra and a crew upgrade of your choice. Same kind of things we talked about with the Klingon crew ganker. He's got a place. You have to find your opportunity, maybe wait until later in the battle. This can work well maybe against a Regent's flagship, something that has very low shield, very high hull, something that people will want to take a lot of crew on, but ultimately I think these are very limited, but if you really want to find a use, there is a place for it somewhere. The other crew we get is Novak. As an action, you can disable one of your active shields in order to add an attack die. If we had an action that just said add 1 attack die, it wouldn't be something you took all the time. So having another drawback is typically not something we want. But disabling a shield isn't the worst thing in the game. Now, since most of the time you're already going to be cloaked, Novak doesn't see a lot of play. However, I think where he comes in handy is a little later in the game, maybe in combination with Mirok, where you can repair and then have an action to disable a shield to get that boost in attack. What Romulans are missing more than anything is attack, so something like Novak kind of compensates for that. There are worse ways to go about getting bonus attacks. Plus, for 2 points, I think that it's a viable option. We also have a tech, Artificial Quantum Singularity. While your ship is cloaked, you can roll your full defense dice in spite of an enemy scan token. So really, it's letting you roll 1 extra defense die. Scanning is kind of hit or miss. It depends on the enemy fleet. It has a place. I'm not sure it's a 3-point place, but I will say that against a lot of Fed fleets, scanning is a huge thing because it triggers Spock, it triggers Valtane, it works with Geordi. There's a lot of scan enhancers that we see. So Artificial Quantum Singularity preserves your defense dice, which defense dice are so fickle. You want to be able to get every die you can just in case they fail you, and they will fail you. Lastly, there's Plasma Torpedoes. These are range 1 to 2, 5 dice. They let you re-roll all your blanks 1 time. I'm a little bit more of a fan of these now that we have Admiral Mendoc, so that you can get battle stations. A lot of Romulan ships only have 2, 3 dice. Being able to have a secondary weapon that bumps you up to 5. Range 2 is their sweet spot. Unfortunately, none of these Romulan ships that it's actually good on have a rear arc, so it's just something we kind of have to live with. But plasma torpedoes are playable, better on the Galgathon or the Vortivore or say the Praetus than these heavy warbirds. But even on a warbird, it's a playable ship. So yeah, that is the Khazara. It's a very useful ship. Captain Torth is a very good captain. Counterattack's a very useful talent. Bokra, Novak, you can probably take them or leave them. Very situational cards. Bokra is great for terrorists to have airlock fodder. Artificial Quantum Singularity, it depends on how often you see scanning. If you see it often, then it's a good card. If you don't see it often, you can probably let it be. Plasma Torpedoes, again, kind of depends what you want to do, but they're there. Overall, this is a pack worth having. Good ship overall. So until next time, keep playing Star Trek. I hope you learned something this time at the shipyard. Until next time, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to see next. Love to keep doing these for you guys. Just let me know what you want to hear. Okay, take care.